They force-fed children their own vomit in desperation. Willowbrook State School on Staten Island, New York, became a notorious institution, a symbol of systemic cruelty for thousands of vulnerable people. For nearly 3 decades, spanning from 1947 until 1987, its overcrowded wards witnessed unimaginable horrors and rampant neglect, impacting countless lives. The facility was originally designed to accommodate just 4,000 residents, but by its peak in the 1960s, it routinely crammed over 6,000 individuals into its aging buildings, creating a dire environment. This severe overpopulation led to appalling sanitary conditions, a constant spread of infectious diseases, including hepatitis, a major concern, and a shocking lack of basic human dignity for its inhabitants. Staffing levels were catastrophically low, with ratios often plummeting to 1 attendant for an astonishing 100 profoundly disabled patients in some large dormitories. This critical shortage of dedicated care workers meant that essential tasks like feeding, bathing, and changing were often neglected, leading to widespread physical and emotional abuse. Many residents were left unattended for hours or even days, living in their own waste and suffering from severe malnutrition and dehydration. The children and adults within Willowbrook's walls were often subjected to physical restraints, including being tied to beds or chairs for extended periods as a form of control and punishment. There were frequent reports of physical beatings, sexual assaults, and the unethical use of residents for medical experiments, which shocked the nation. Public outcry began to intensify through the 1960s and early 1970s as whistleblowers and concerned family members bravely spoke out against the institutionalized torture. A pivotal moment arrived in 1972 when journalist Geraldo Rivera's exposé revealed the horrific living conditions and widespread abuses to a stunned national audience, bringing the hidden truths into the light. This powerful media coverage fueled a growing movement for reform and the protection of the developmentally disabled population. Advocacy groups, including the New York State Association for Retarded Children, tirelessly fought for the rights of Willowbrook's residents. Their relentless efforts culminated in a landmark lawsuit and the subsequent Willowbrook Consent Decree signed in 1975, promising significant improvements and the eventual deinstitutionalization of its residents. The decree mandated better staffing, improved living conditions, and the transfer of approximately 1,200 residents to smaller community-based facilities. However, the full closure of Willowbrook State School was a long and arduous process, stretching for more than a decade until 1987, when the last residents finally left its shadow. The shocking legacy of Willowbrook prompted significant federal and state reforms, impacting policies for institutional care across the United States. Its story remains a stark reminder of the perils of unchecked institutional power and the enduring importance of advocating for the most vulnerable among us, ensuring such atrocities are never repeated anywhere ever again. The land itself, a vast 1,800-acre expanse, eventually transitioned to other uses, but memory of those who suffered there persists. Children ate their own waste for survival, a daily horror witnessed by many. Willowbrook State School on Staten Island, New York, became a stark emblem of systemic cruelty, impacting thousands of vulnerable individuals across nearly 4 decades, from 1947 until 1987. This notorious institution, originally designed to accommodate just 4,000 residents, routinely crammed over 6,000 individuals into its aging buildings by its peak in the 1960s, creating an intensely dire and unmanageable environment. The severe overpopulation led directly to appalling sanitary conditions, fostering the constant and alarming spread of infectious diseases, including hepatitis A, major health concern among the inhabitants, and a shocking lack of basic human dignity for everyone trapped within its walls. Staffing levels were catastrophically low, with ratios often plummeting to an astonishing 1 attendant for every 100 profoundly disabled patients in some of the larger dormitories, exacerbating the widespread neglect. This critical shortage of dedicated care workers meant that essential tasks like consistent feeding, bathing, and changing were frequently ignored, leading to pervasive physical and emotional abuse. Many residents were tragically left unattended for hours or even entire days, living in their own waste and suffering from severe malnutrition and dangerous dehydration. The children and adults inside Willowbrook's grim confines were often subjected to barbaric physical restraints, including being tied to beds or chairs for extended periods, as a brutal form of control and punishment. There were numerous documented reports of rampant physical beatings, sexual assaults, and the deeply unethical use of residents for medical experiments, which rightfully shocked the entire nation when revealed. Public outcry began to intensify significantly through the 1960s and early 1970s as brave whistleblowers and deeply concerned family members courageously spoke out against the institutionalized torture and suffering. A truly pivotal moment arrived in 1972 when journalist Geraldo Rivera's groundbreaking exposé revealed the horrific living conditions and widespread abuses to a stunned national audience, bringing these hidden truths into the harsh light of public scrutiny. This powerful media coverage fueled a growing national movement for reform and the urgent protection of the developmentally disabled population. Advocacy groups, including the New York State Association for Retarded Children, tirelessly fought for the fundamental rights of Willowbrook's beleaguered residents. Their relentless efforts culminated in a landmark lawsuit and the subsequent Willowbrook Consent Decree signed in 1975, promising significant improvements and the eventual deinstitutionalization of its suffering residents. The decree mandated desperately needed better staffing, improved living conditions, and the crucial transfer of approximately 1,200 residents to smaller, more humane, community-based facilities. However, the full closure of Willowbrook State School was a long and arduous process stretching for more than an entire decade until 1987, when the very last residents finally managed to leave its dark shadow. The shocking legacy of Willowbrook prompted significant federal and state reforms, profoundly impacting policies for institutional care across the United States for generations. Its story remains a stark and undeniable reminder of the perils of unchecked institutional power and the enduring importance of advocating for the most vulnerable among us, ensuring such unspeakable atrocities are never repeated anywhere ever again. The land itself, a vast 1,800-acre expanse, eventually transitioned to other uses, but the memory of those who suffered there persists. The shocking footage ignited a furious national outcry. Willowbrook State School then became a battleground for human rights, a site of systemic abuse from 1947 until 1987. Geraldo Rivera's 1972 exposé on national television vividly displayed the horrific reality within its walls, bringing public attention to what concerned families had been reporting since the 1960s. This notorious institution on Staten Island, New York, built to house 4,000 residents and swelled to over 6,000 individuals by its peak in the 1960s, creating a dire, unmanageable environment of neglect and despair, fostering the spread of infectious diseases like hepatitis. Advocacy groups, notably the New York State Association for Retarded Children, fought tirelessly for the rights of thousands trapped inside. Their relentless efforts led to a landmark lawsuit and the subsequent Willowbrook Consent Decree, signed in 1975, a pivotal legal document. This agreement mandated needed improvements, including better staffing ratios, which had plummeted to 1 attendant for every 100 profoundly disabled patients in some dormitories, a catastrophic shortage of care. The decree also required improved living conditions and the transfer of approximately 1,200 residents to smaller, more humane, community-based facilities, a step towards human dignity. However, the closure of Willowbrook State School was a long, arduous process stretching for more than an entire decade. The very last residence finally left its dark shadow in 1987, marking an end to its operational period, which began in 1947. This struggle highlighted resistance to reform, but eventually brought an end to physical beatings, sexual assaults, and unethical medical experiments, including the spread of hepatitis among residents that shocked the nation. The institution's 1,800-acre expanse was eventually repurposed, but its grim legacy prompted federal and state reforms profoundly impacting policies for institutional care across the United States for generations to come. Its story serves as a stark, undeniable reminder of unchecked institutional power and the enduring importance of advocating for the most vulnerable among us, ensuring such atrocities are never repeated anywhere again.